Hello everybody and welcome to the Certain Scientific Accelerator Man anime review episode 12. I'm very happy with how this has gone. Considering the manga is one of the weaker parts, I think it's fair to say, of the Tuaru certain indexed railed accelerator, whatever you want to call it, that series. I think the Accelerator manga is one of the weaker parts. I think the anime is actually better than the manga so far, and that's maybe it's just me misremembering the manga, but I'm way more engaged now than it was then. Maybe it's just because it's animated and voice acted and everything, but I wasn't too engaged with the manga. I'm way more engaged now. It's way easier for me to follow what's going on as well, so yeah, that's good. Anyway, we'll start this episode at the beginning and go through it. Quite a lot happened with not a lot really happening in the grand scheme of things, but it was cool at least. Accelerator got to be cool. Can't ask for much more than that. So the episode begins with an attempted suicide by a girl. Didn't catch her name. Is it important? I don't remember if it's important. So let's just... so yeah, she survived and she's taken in by anti-skill, or some doctors as I put them. Doctors, anti-skill. They kill her. They put water into her lungs using one of them, what they call rebreathers. They use one of them to kill her. They said something about DA's dogma, which is weird. Then we cut back to present day, so that was like a flashback that's happened in the past or whatever. Present day, the anti-skill guy that got attacked by the resurrected dogs has survived, and he's okay. The mysterious girl made it to the hospital. The anti-skill roll in. Then there's a little bit of a scrap. I wouldn't even really call it a fight. They just kind of scrap. She runs. Accelerator's in his room. He's reading Heavy Object. Heavy Object, if you're not aware, is another light novel series written by the same guy who writes Index, bloody Kamachi. So I noticed it when I rewatched the first episode. I was like, he's reading bloody Heavy Object. So as far as I'm concerned, Heavy Object as a light novel exists within the Index universe. So, there's some facts for you, some linking. There's got to have been some sort of crossover between the two. Maybe not a big old crossover, but a little crossover. They're both in that fighting game. Anyway, yeah, Heavy Object, Accelerator reading. Good promotion, I guess. So the mysterious woman or girl, I don't remember how old she is, goes into Accelerator's room and asks for help. I'm pretty sure Accelerator's blocking out sound at this point, because he can do that. He can just block out sound, because that'd be such a useful ability, blocking off all sound. By the way, I might have said that last week. It would be so useful. But yeah, he's just reading there or whatever. She's asking him for help. He's just ignoring or just can't hear her, whatever. Getting on with his self. She shows him the picture of Last Order and is like, hey, help us out, bro. Then she gets tased and taken by anti-skill. And they're like... Anti-skill, sorry. They're like, you didn't see any... Thank you for your cooperation, sir. And Accelerator's just not... He's just reading his manga. Like, he does not want you to bother him. To be fair, if I was reading manga, I wouldn't want to be bothered either, so I fully understand Accelerator's point of view. Then she's taken away by them, and he sees the picture left on the ground of Last Order, and he's like, oh crap, now I have to get up and sort this out. And he does. Outside, she's loaded into the truck, and they start like choking her. Her name is Esther, which is weird, because in the manga, she was called like Estelle, which is close, but it's not the same. Why would you change the name? Okay, fine, we'll call her Esther, or Esther. Esther? How do you say that? Esther. I'm going to say that the H is silent. I have just been staring at the word for 5 seconds, yes. She's in the truck and they start choking her. They're like, don't kill her, but you could choke her a little bit. I'm like, that's kinky. Let's not do that. I don't know how old she is. She's probably alright, actually. I don't know. I should look that up on the Index Wiki after this, just to be safe. But yeah, then they begin their driving, they turn the lights on. It's like a horror movie. Accelerator's just standing there in the front of the car. And he's like, excuse me, can I see the girl, please? He's a lot less polite than this, but, he's like, I need to ask her something. Can I see her? And they're like, no, we're anti-skill. Anti-skill? Could you please go away? And he's like, come off it, man. You're not anti-skill. They would never point a gun at a civilian. Which is good logic from Accelerator there. Good logic. And they're like, no, we're DA. I forget what DA stands for. Or if it stands for anything. It must stand for something. I don't remember. But then they threaten Accelerator. They're like, we're going to run you over. And I'm like, big mistake. Why is everybody in Academy City an idiot, by the way? Because it's not the first time that people don't know who Accelerator is. Surely that should be something that's quite well known, is this is the #1 Esper in Academy City, or ability user. I'm going to say Esper, dub terminology, fine. You should know who he is. Like, surely. If you know who... Because, like, Misaka and that, people knew who she was. Why would they not know who Accelerator was? Very strange indeed. Especially if you're like, are these people terrorists? Well, they're not really terrorists. They're like extremist They're not anti-skill, but they're like extremist people. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Accelerator flattens them, and there's a big old mech called a coffin, and then they start taunting Accelerator. They're like, "We're gonna crush you, man!" And again, he didn't move, and he reflected everything you hit him with. Why would you keep taunting that? Like, even if you don't know who it was, you've seen what he's capable of, or not even what he's capable of. From him standing still, you've seen what he's done. Why are you stupid? You're meant to be adults. Accelerator has a pretty good line here. He's like, "Your evil sucks, and my evil's way better." Something like that. And then he crushes the mech. Not even difficult. There's a corpse inside it, though, and it's the corpse of that girl that died at the beginning. It was in the thing, the mech, and that powered... or that let it use her ability. So it was reading her dead mind to use her ability, and also it powered up her ability. I think I got that right. Which shouldn't be possible, you know, they must have some crazy thing. Esther got away, also worth mentioning. Then the real anti-skills show up with Yomikawa, asks what happened. He's like, they were called DA, they're imposters of you, they're, you know, there's a corpse here, this is when the corpse died and everything. Detective Accelerator, oh, could you imagine, that'd be a good manga actually. Detective Accelerator. He just solves murders with his partner, Last Order. That would actually be kind of entertaining. A part of me wants to see an alternate universe spin-off of that. Can't be any weirder than the Idol spin-off. You know, that's pretty tame comparatively. Okay, yeah. So, there, then they explain about the ability and the thing I've already said. Then we cut to the DA guy who was in charge of this event. Complains that the coffin broke, tells them Esther got away, and then I assume they killed him. So, don't fail this mission. There was also a naked girl hugging some dude. I forget who she is. I think I remember, but I don't really. She's like the big old... she's the strong one, I'm assuming. That's where we're going with this. Accelerator gets back to the hospital. Last Order is there, like, drowsy because she shouldn't be awake. She's like, "Where have you been, Accelerator?" I don't know, like I made her like a grumpy old man. That's exactly what Last Order sounds like. She's like, "Where have you been? You should stay inside." She makes it, she's like, "You're not going anywhere, are you?" He's like, "Nah, I'll stick around. I'm not going nowhere." He's a liar, this Accelerator. Then he goes to his room. Esther's already there, and he pins her to a wall with... not by, like, touching her. He, like... what is he doing? Is he redirecting the wind vectors to somehow choke her? I want to know how he's doing that, because I don't remember him having the straight up having the force. So, you know, that's probably what I said is what it is. I'm sure someone knows. She asks him to help and everything, help her with what she's doing. He threatens her a lot and she accepts it. She calls him a good person, and he doesn't look too pleased about that. We all know he's a good person. The Who Index 3's out. Yeah, so then Esther is the one... a lot of stuff happened at once though. Esther's the one that taught them how to manipulate the corpses, the bad guys. She says their Last Order's involved somehow. So then he lets her go and agrees to help and is like, let's go on our merry way. And I believe that's where we ended the episode. So, yeah, this was, for the first... I forget how much of the manga this covers. Not a lot, honestly. I think it might be like the first chapter or two. This was really enjoyable to me. I mean, it's going to be weird. I remember it being quite fast-paced, the manga. So or is it slow-paced? It's one of the two. It's either fast-paced or slow-paced. It's a lot of fighting and a lot of, like, multiple-page spreads of, you know, action scenes. And transitioned into anime, that's going to last a few seconds. So, I do wonder how they're going to do it. This could end up being better than the manga. I'm hopeful. I am hopeful, because Accelerator is just cool, isn't he? And maybe I'll understand the plot a bit better this time. I mean, I understood it when I was reading it. I think I'm going to understand it better here. So, yeah, that was this week's episode. As I said, that's what that gibberish just was. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this episode and this review specifically, Subscribe and stuff. I'll be here for doing every week. Accelerator. There's other reviews and stuff on the channel. Check them out. There's a lot of anime. It's really good. Thank you for watching. Accelerator is really cool, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.